retired Air Force and also retired local school teacher. 30 years in the Honor Guard for doing veteran funeral services.
Playing the bugle.
Did it for 30 years, yes.
How many funerals do you think you presided over?
It would be over 1,000. I played trumpet, and so that was the reason for being a bugler. And we would raise a flag down at the Civic Center every once in a while.
What about that kept you going, kept you coming back, Bob?
Just from the old heart.
Take me back to when you enlisted in what year?
Enlisted in 1942.
In the U.S. Air Force?
Yes.
And what did you want to be?
A pilot. In Bakersfield Junior College, where we had a course under Roy Pemberton, and in that flying course I got a private pilot's license. And back then, the private pilot's license was numbered in sequence, like the Wright brothers had number 1 and 2. Mine was 70736, which meant I was the 70,736 person in the United States to get a pilot's license. In combat, the first airplane I was assigned to an aircraft, Douglas B-26, as a co-pilot.
B-26 bomber?
Yes, light bomber.
Light bomber.
Twin engine aircraft.
And where did they send you?
I was sent to Japan, and Iwakuni, Japan.
You had a substantial amount of time in the cockpit in the Korean War. How many missions did you fly?
56 total missions, 50 night missions, and 6 daylight missions. I recall on one night mission why we were flying towards the Russian border to the northeast, and the navigator says, "I think it's about time we turned around." And as soon as he said that, why there were some an explosion and a round that came to our altitude to let us know that we were getting too close to the Russian border.
8mm videos you took in Japan. Tell me about that.
Well, we were stationed in Iwakuni, Japan.
What year was it?
This would be 1950.
Okay, after the war. All right.
Right.
After World War II.
Yes. Okay, we were stationed in Iwakuni, Japan, and it was got in a poker game when we reached Tachikawa, and won $400. So the next day when we landed in Iwakuni, I went to this Australian BX, which is like our PX, and bought a 8mm movie camera. And so as co-pilot, why, you're not doing very much, you're just sitting there while the pilot's doing the flying. And I was able to take a few pictures. When I came back from Korea, why, I was stationed in Japan, getting ready to, what I thought, come home. And there was a knock on our door, and the roommate, who was a navigator bombardier, went to the door and he said, "Bob, it's for you." And when I got to the door, why, there was a sergeant, and he said, "We've gone through every single person's records on this base, and there's only one person with a general secondary teaching credential, and that's you." And he said, "We'll schedule your missions so that they won't interfere with your teaching." And I thought it should be vice versa, but it wasn't. And sure enough, I became an instructor, and I started teaching math, English, and one other course for these enlisted personnel.
You have lived a lifetime of service.
Yes.
In many respects.
Yes.
A life well lived.
It's been a fruitful one to get at least to the age of 98.